call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Patterson?
Here.
Ms. Beaupre?
Here.
Ms. Hefner?
Here.
Mr. Richmond?
Here.
Mr. Engard? Here. Mr. Slack?
Here. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the January 6, 2026 meeting as is amended. You want to explain, Mason, please, how you amended those?
Yes. Mr. Harden mentioned that some of his comments had not been reflected in the full minutes for January 6th, the original copy. So I just made an amended edition that has a more extended version of his comments.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions or any other concerns by this body? Entertain a motion to adopt those as amended.
Second.
A motion and a second. Vote when ready.
Ms. Beaupre?
Yes.
Ms. Hefner?
Yes.
Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Mr. Slack?
Yes. Thank you. We will move on to public discussion on dispatch. Before we do, I have a letter I would like to share by Ms. Lydia Swain. She is one of our dispatchers. It reads, community members, village council, and Mayor Patterson. I want to say something today after sitting here listening to the community members speak about how they feel about this possible change. I appreciate all the support from the community members and take in challenging comments made regarding our dispatch. Yes, there's a lot of room for improvement in our dispatch, but I feel that we deserve the opportunity to get the proper training and the chance to make our department better. Personally, I've worked at this department going on 7 years this month. Over the years, not only have I self-taught and learned from fellow dispatchers, but have also learned a lot from the dispatchers from Wood County. They are great people. Excuse me. They are great people there, and I highly respect them for all their help through the years. They don't know the residents of this village like some of us local dispatchers do. I truly hope that you all take the time and reflect on what the community members and employees have said these last few council meetings and make the best decision that you deem necessary. I hope that you guys see the dedication that we showed to our village and allow us to continue to provide to this community. Thank you, Lydia Swain. Thank you, Lydia. She's out there somewhere. Thank you, Lydia. Much appreciated. Take the time and sharing it. We'll move on. Lori Hicks. I'm doing great. Very good. Thanks. And you have the floor. Thank you.
Chuck sent me an email and phoned me about the village's position on taking into consideration moving to countywide dispatch or upgrading their current dispatch council.
Yes.
I've provided just a brief overview of the councils. It's an AvTech setup. Depending on how many positions you would need. He and I spoke. Right now you're currently talking to Wood County, periodically Marks.
Yes.
Well, we use Marks
For the fire.
Okay.
For fire.
For fire.
Only.
Okay.
Fire.
For fire only.
Fire.
Okay. And your Moto Turbo.
Correct.
So
Regular.
yeah, your regular radios.
Sure.
Police radios.
Yes.
So I'm going to give him an extended version of what this entails. It would be one of the smaller units. I have not sat down and done an exact quote.
Yes.
I'm giving you an estimated number because these things change. With his information that you guys are kind of up in the air and you're still tossing it around and figuring out the other costs involved. I'll do that once we know what we're up against.
Sure.
Okay?
Thank you.
It is scalable. Right now, you can get away with a smaller council. You would need potentially control stations to tie directly to it by wireline. But you could always add on to it. Say you would want foot switches, door releases, or things like that.
Yes.
They could add on to that as they wanted to. It includes, it's somewhere between $40,000 and $45,000 for that model. It includes 1 year of Scout Care, which comes, it's our technician and Aztec's technician and software support, that if you would have something wrong the first year, they'd come out, take care of it for you.
Wonderful.
Okay? Half a day of training for the dispatchers is also included in that price. Anything after that, Scout Care would be generated through a quote and vendor working with Aztec, right around a $5,000 a year to maintain the Scout Care after the first year.
Yeah.
Those are the basic nuts and bolts of it. I don't know if you have any other detailed questions. I'm not the actual expert on this. If you guys, after tonight's meeting, would decide you want to go that way and not go with county dispatch, a lot of people are going that route, but I don't know the village's, the financial part of this and all the ins and outs, so I don't want to speak on that.
Right, thank you.
It's a village
Well,
decision.
Yeah, and on this, so this console itself, our current console does not record incoming phone calls, outgoing phone calls, as in when the dispatcher's talking to the person on the other end of the phone line. That is a huge problem, liability issue down the road. I mean, it's enormous. Lori actually laughed when I told her that we don't do that. That's amazing. But at any rate, this does cover this. So what we're saying is that upgrading this console, this would cover that and cover those recordings.
Audio recording.
To play them back later.
Stamps.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it is a much better unit than what they're currently using.
Of course.
You know, it does a lot more. It is touch screen, so the dispatcher can touch the screen and pull up and talk to different officers.
Rather than picking up the microphone,
Mhm.
it can be touch screen, and you talk through a mic like you're talking on the radio. So they're tied directly to the console. I don't know, I'm not a technician, but I mean, that's the basics.
Sure, sure.
3 radios, the VHF, the Marks, and the turbo radio would be tied directly to the console itself.
Laura, thank you very much. Is there any questions for Laura? Laura, thank you very much for taking your time to throw that together for us. It's much appreciated.
Again,
They are very soft numbers, as she has made clear to us, that, you know, those numbers could possibly change once they come in and do, depending on what direction this body was to
It is
take.
scalable though, so if you decide, okay, we don't want any door switches right now,
Sure.
you know, we don't have it in the budget to do this, that, you know, whatever, you can add on to any of these.
Modify it to
You
what
can
our
modify it as time goes on, and we would work directly with Aztec.
So we can upgrade later or?
Correct.
Once we.
There's only so much room on, say, the E4 console. It has 4 positions, so depending on how many, like, screens and monitors you would want to have, whether it be a laptop or if you need multiple screens, then that changes the dynamic. But all 3 consoles are there. Based on the information Chuck and I talked about,
Sure.
that's why I'm suggesting the 4 position.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank you. Have a good night, Laura.
You too. Thank you.
Moving on, Mr. John Harden, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you updating the minutes. We need to make sure we're accurate on that, including our time, if that's your official clock.
That will, yes,
We're a little early.
that will be taken care of, Jeff.
On to the topic. Well, she answered one of my questions about the upgrade and the general cost. It gives us a more closer number to work with, so to speak. But my big question here is, and I think it's probably been asked before, so I guess I'm going to ask this for clarity. But why is there a big rush on this?
I think Central Square has a lot to do with it, but it hasn't been a big rush, John. This has been talked about for a little while. It's not like somebody just came up and said, hey, let's talk. I mean, I think it's been a few months ago that we went over and sat and visited the the sheriff's. I don't know exactly what dates, I mean, we've been over there twice.
Have to check.
We've been over there twice, so it's at least been, I mean, it's been discussed for probably 2 or 3 months, John.
Okay, so I know we had meetings starting in January, right?
And what,
We had 2 meetings in January concerning this topic, correct?
yeah, I would say,
Okay, so it's talked about for 4 or 5 months, and then
November
all of a sudden,
14th.
2 meetings in January, and then this one. To me, that seems like things are speeding up a little bit.
it's had 3 readings, John. I mean, that's what the law requires. 3 readings, I'm sorry, I'm just not quite understanding what you're... So the budget came out, and there was, you know, as I've stated in the last meetings, my concern is the quality of service that we are providing our citizens. That's my number 1 goal, my number 1 concern, right? And the safety of our officers. Those are my 2 that I'm concerned about. The cost savings doesn't really have anything to do, and you can go, we'll have that conversation later, so. Those are my 2 main concerns, John. When it got brought to my attention, the quality of service that was being provided over there, that got brought to my attention probably when Mr. Lafferty went on leave. He went on a medical leave. So the conversations, we've been having these conversations with our department over there, our department heads since then, and finding out what we should do as a village, right? So with that being said, we've always known that the county has always been an option for us. And as I stated before, even if council decided to keep dispatch over there, we are going to improve our dispatch. To me, and I can only speak for me, John, the quality of service, and that, as I've said in the last few meetings, is our fault. It's not any fault of our dispatchers. It's our fault. This body's fault. This administration's fault, because we did not get them the training that they've needed. There's a reason why the county provides such the service, the quality of service that they provide. And it's because of the training and the investment that the county has put into that system. So and I would say that's probably second to none over there from what I've ever seen. They do a fantastic job over there, and they got all the bells and whistles. But there has not been a big rush on this, John, whatsoever. So I'm not sure. Our first meeting over there was November 14th. November 14th, when we first went over and talked to them, and then our second one was December 5th with some of the council members that went over there. And then figured out what direction, I mean, that's up to this council, what direction that they want to go with the information that's before them. That's with any issue.
And when was it first public knowledge? To the citizens, to the residents?
Public,
When was
yeah,
the first
probably in
public knowledge?
January. In January at that meeting.
In January.
Yes, so that you have to give the council opportunity to, what if the council wasn't even gonna consider it, John? What if they got together and said, hey, this isn't a direction that we wanna go? Then they wouldn't even have announced it, right? But since they thought, well, we need to entertain this and get it out, it has to go through legislation. And that's exactly what this body did. That was what the first reading was about. That's following the law. If we was pushing it through, they would have passed it as an emergency at the first reading, which they had a right to do. But they said, no, we want to give, this body said, we want to give the residents of North Baltimore an opportunity to let us know how they feel about this very sensitive issue. So I'm sorry, John, I would disagree with you. We made no push to get this through in any kind of in a hurry. So I disagree with that.
And council members agree with that? Yeah, okay. Cool. Has, Mr. Bender,
Yes.
has anything been looked into as far as funding the, an upgrade?
Funding, like finance, like grants, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
We looked a little bit. Mason couldn't find anything too promising, as you say. I'm not sure if you want to.
The federal and state grant opportunities available are not allocated to emergency services generally. What was available to the village, what we qualified for, I did not find many opportunities that were lined up in the Everett area.
A quick 10-minute search on the FEMA website, I found 10 different grants.
I can give you my research that I've given. I did look through the FEMA website. That was one of the options. Sometimes grants have names that sound like they're aligned with, the right priorities, but we don't qualify, or they do not meet the standards that we would meet.
Plus, I do want to mention that we have to apply, we have to wait, we have to be awarded. We kind of need this all to be done ASAP.
How many did you say, John?
10.
10.
For the
Can you
safety
share those with
reports.
us? Do you have
Well,
those?
that's your job. That's your administrator's job.
Okay, thank you. That's what I thought.
I got them right here, but as a resident, it's not my job to do that, that's the administrator's job to do that.
Okay,
I'm just doing a little research.
that's fine. We appreciate it. Was there any other questions that you had? Any other comments you would like to make, John?
No, not this time.
Thank you for your time and your comments on this issue. Paige Cotterman.
And
Hi,
I'm over
Paige.
here.
How are you
I'm
doing?
gonna sit this time. So, you said the quality.
That is, I'm speaking
Yeah,
for
I
Aaron
know.
Anderson, okay?
I'm gonna go off the quality.
Sure.
What was it, last Saturday, we had a, house fire.
Yes.
Complete loss. So, one of your dispatchers ran around town at a level 2 and grabbed coffee, water, and hot chocolate for your firemen.
Much appreciated.
Lydia needs all the credit.
Thank you, Lydia.
Also, Red Cross was never communicated about or contacted about this complete loss to this resident's house. He lost everything. Red Cross was not aware. Lydia found out 2 days later and took it upon herself to make sure that they weren't contacted, and then was able to contact them. To me, that's high quality. Did everything right for the residents.
Thank you.
So, a little mad, frustrated that you think they don't, okay, Wood County's great, but are they gonna go that step forward that our dispatchers do?
I would highly doubt that they're gonna come down here unless one of them is a resident of the village and go and.
And 5 out of 6 of our dispatchers are residents. So they have
Sure.
our best qualities.
So are you taking it as that's an insult to that I'm saying the quality of service that's provided that we provide compared to what the county provides? Are you taking that as I'm insulting our dispatchers?
A little bit.
I hope you don't, because that's not what I'm saying by any means. The quality, in my opinion, the quality of service that they have to offer up there is second to none, Paige. And in my opinion, unless with our system that we have over there, we are certainly doing a disservice to our residents by keeping it. So that's the conversation that we're having as far as if this body decides to keep dispatch, we have a lot to do in
Then do it.
fixing the quality, okay? Fixing the quality of service that's provided and the quality of equipment that we have over there for our employees or our dispatchers. We have a lot of work on our end, and it's gonna cost a substantial amount of money as that's what's before them, right? But to me, I don't want you to think that I'm saying that as an insult. That's why I keep making the statement that the quality that we did a bad job of training our employees, Paige. I've said that more than once, so I don't know how you can say that. I hope you don't take it as I'm trying to insult
Give
our...
them the chance to improve. Why you said this is not an emergency, then why are you only allowing 3 meetings?
That's what it takes for legislation to be passed, 3 readings. This body can table this. They can table it for, if they choose to do so tonight, they can table this issue. That's up to council. They're the ones that make the decision on this. I have no say in it. I can make my opinions known, in which I think that I've done, but I don't get a vote in this. I don't get to table it. It's legislation.
Well, I think it would be a horrible mistake to our residents to pass it.
To go forward with the
To go
county.
forward with it.
With the county dispatch
Yeah.
centers.
Because put the time and effort into it. You said that you guys had a couple of months, well, put more time and effort into it. You've heard from the residents. We want this here. And financially, if we go to Wood County and then we decide it was a mistake, how is that financially responsible? Because now we're out that money instead of investing it in our own. Invest it here instead of giving it to county.
Paige, I have been contacted by people within the village that thinks it's a good idea to go with the county because of the service that they provide. So I appreciate what you're saying, so you see that, but we have to take everybody's opinions and concerns into consideration when this body makes that
Can
decision.
we vote on it? Can the community
What
vote
you-
on it?
yeah, well, here's what you would do. Whatever decision that this body makes, you've got 30 days to file a referendum petition, and that's what the law says. So you have to get, I think it's 35% of the number of signatures to support your referendum petition that voted in the last governor's race. So,
Mayor,
yes.
possible correction.
Am I wrong in saying that?
This would be an emergency.
Oh, so that if they pass it, they pass it. So if this body, one second, thank you, I didn't realize they might be passing it as an emergency.
At the recommendation of our village council.
If they pass it as an emergency tonight, Paige, if this body passes it as an emergency, it is not open to a referendum. The only way they can pass it as an emergency if it is a real emergency. Our legal counsel has, well, you talked to the legal counsel.
Our village solicitor, he has
Recommended.
very recently stated we should probably not do as many emergencies, but in this case, he said he recommends doing so. The reason why, and I added this to both the resolution and the actual agreement, basically, let's say we waited 30 days, and in the middle of that 30 days, dispatch walks out. What do? We wanted to make sure we can immediately go over to Wood County Dispatch with little issue, legally speaking. So even though it's an emergency and it's not effective, it would be effective today, we have it in there to the word that you would wait until March 4th, basically, to go over to that. But again, if the continuation, whatever you call it, is triggered if there's a walkout, for example, or we can't hide, people quit or whatever.
Okay, so if there was a walkout, I mean, like if this body decided to give it just pass it as a regular resolution, legislation without declaring an emergency, and then it has its 30 days. And our dispatchers walked out on us and we was without a dispatch, they would lose any potential severance that this body might be willing to offer each one, and potentially any unemployment benefits. So we would hope that they wouldn't walk out if the body doesn't pass it as an emergency, which I hope that they don't, but they have that right to do so. They would have to pass it 4/5 or 2/3, excuse me. So 4 out of the 5 members in this case would have to approve the emergency clause in order for it to pass. If 3 of them decided not to, then it would have its 30 days. So,
Do you, and, part of that, would you pay out their sick time and full?
whatever they have coming to them, I don't
It
know.
would not be sick time, it would just be vacation. The sick
Some-
time can be transferred over to other employment, should that employer accept said sick
But
time.
they would get all accrued vacation.
Now, is there still 2 spots open at Wood County Dispatch?
Mr. Panning, do you know, is there still a couple of spots open over there?
Yes, we still have current openings,
Current openings, so.
and again, we've offered priority
Yep,
for
preference.
the current dispatchers that are currently here.
Now, that doesn't guarantee, as Sheriff Oslish, if there was 2 qualified candidates for those positions, they would get preference as, but,
And should council go forward with the emergency today, I would give the information to apply for said job to all dispatchers,
they were interested.
special link.
1 second, please.
So,
She has the
I'm
floor.
just gonna urge council not to pass that as an emergency. Let the people do it. That's
Let the
why
people-
you guys are here.
What do you mean let the
Well,
people
let
do it?
the
I don't want to
people
confuse
vote
you.
on it. Let the-
They don't get the, so what, have a referendum petition page, just so
Yeah.
you understand, you have to go around, you have to draft the legislation
Yes.
to repeal their action. You have to go around and get the signatures and then come up here and submit it to the clerk, and then it goes on to the general elections. It goes on to the November general election, and then the citizens will get to vote on it. So
Yeah.
just, okay.
I would.
I just didn't want to, I want to
Yeah.
make sure
I
that.
want to reiterate our village solicitor's opinion that if there is something happens, going even a day without dispatch is not only a disservice to the residents, but would put officers in jeopardy. So that's why, again, this emergency.
Mr. Panning, I think that Mr. Vasilishин told us that if, and obviously, if it went to 30 days, the concern is I can't sign the agreement, the mayor cannot. So if this legislative body approves going with the county, I have to sign that, right? I have to sign the agreement. If we do not pass it as an emergency, I think we all know that I cannot sign that until after the 30 days. It does not go into effect. So when we talked about before that the sheriff says we can be live within a very short amount of time if the village was in trouble. I still cannot sign it until it actually goes into effect. So if it's approved as an emergency, I can sign it right away. If it's not approved as an emergency, then I have to wait for 30 days. Or if we don't even contract with the county, then it's not issues. Is there anything else, Paige? I will call on, I will give everybody an opportunity. I know that you're, but this is a
I
very
did
sensitive.
sign, I don't know the rules.
That's okay,
I
I'll
just
call
had
on you, I just want to let you know,
couple
I want to get,
questions what was said.
Heather Bressler?
Oh, that's me.
Hi, Heather.
Hi.
Did you want to speak on this?
No, I'm just, I mean, not really. I did dispatch uptown for a little while. I'm just here for, my interview for the MTV
Okay, I got you.
council vacancy.
Okay,
But, I mean, I did dispatch up at the police department, quite a few years ago. I think Lydia started shortly after me. And I was only there for a short bit. I think they do need some good training.
Yes.
I wouldn't say they're bad people. I
No.
left
Oh, no.
because
No.
I knew everyone in town. I didn't want to know them to that extent.
sure.
You know, their business is their business, and I learned quite a bit. But I think our dispatch are pretty good. They could just use some more training.
Some additional training, and I would agree with you. Your name, please? Becky, I will take your question.
You table it, how long does it get tabled for?
Well, at least until the next meeting.
The next meeting, then it could
Yep,
be.
which would be next Tuesday.
And then it'd be like another 3 readings?
No,
No.
no, it's already had, today will be its 3rd reading, so they can take action on it after today.
I don't know,
No,
I've
that's
never
okay.
been to council meetings,
Yeah,
so I don't
that's
know how
okay.
it goes. And then, is it able to be tabled and then decided to bring up in front of the voters? Like how you guys bring up, if you want a tax increase?
So that's the referendum process that I just explained to.
Were you just even not going through the referendum process, you just can't go to like you do with the.
No, that's the purpose of the public participation at the meetings, for people to come and make their voices heard. But if this body, if the legislative authority makes decisions that the majority of the public does not agree with, those are the two processes that you can file an initiative petition if you want to create legislation, and then a referendum if you want to repeal anything that the legislative body acts on. Anything else?
No, I just.
Mr. Harden, please.
I want to just claim my time for one question. Earlier, you stated that it was this board's, this council's,
It's legislative body.
this legislative body fault that our dispatches slipped and
No.
didn't get the training.
I said this
and all that.
administration, and I'm part of that administration,
Okay,
John.
this administration.
Did not blame the council.
So to reward them for your fault, you're gonna take away their jobs and send it off to Bowling Green
You
and
think-
give them a party later on in the summer.
So you think that are you talking to me, John, or are you talking about it? Because if you think
I'm
that
talking about it as a whole.
If you- yeah.
What you're representing, what you're showing is,
Okay.
yeah,
Let me
thanks
answer
for
your
your
question.
work, you did a good job,
John.
but
John.
we're gonna let you go and we're gonna send it up there.
John, I mean, it is not a reward to put people out of work, so please do
That's
not
right.
state that. Nobody has ever said that, so if that's your spin on this whole sensitive issue, I'm
My spin is
I'm
this.
very concerned.
You took.
You concern me.
You took responsibility for it.
Absolutely.
As an organization.
It
Absolutely.
is not
For their
just this
shortcomings.
body either.
No,
It's the
it's-
body over years.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking
Yes.
30 years, we
Okay.
should have been.
But you took the responsibility for it, but
Yes.
so because you failed them, they get to lose their jobs, and you're gonna move the responsibility
Well-
of dispatch to Wood County, and.
Okay, what
then
we
you
did,
won't have to
and
worry
I was
about
a
it.
part of that, was failed the citizens of North Baltimore, and we came together collectively and said, how are we gonna fix it? And there's no reward in that, John, until we fix it. No matter what this body decides to do, we are gonna fix it. Whether we go with the county as a fix, or whether this body decides that they're gonna keep our dispatch, we're gonna fix it. I guarantee you that, because we owe that to the residents of this. And for you to sit there and say that somebody's being rewarded, that's disturbing to me, okay, so,
Is
Does
it county
anybody-
though, because they're getting our money?
what's that?
Wouldn't be county be rewarded for your guys' mistakes?
No, because
they're getting our
They would be
money?
providing a service to the residents of North Baltimore, that's just, I mean, that's something that we would contract. But we do that with anybody, Paige. So, is there anybody else before we move? Yes, sir.
I worked for Toledo Fire Dispatch for several years.
Can I get your name, please?
Richard Bozak.
Richard Bozak, you are
Yes.
a candidate.
I worked there not just as a dispatcher, but as a dispatch supervisor and a dispatch trainer, okay? I trained civilians to take over our job. Civilians do a good job. There's no doubt that they do. But having a county system like Lucas County has a lot of advantages. One thing you don't have here is the equipment. And the equipment's not a quick fix. It's not cheap. I mean, they were saying our portable radios ran $2,500.
Oh, there.
And I know,
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Bozak? I don't mean to interrupt you, so please forgive me. How is the system up there in Lucas County? Is it
everything's,
dilapidated? Is it good?
everything,
Lucas
when I
is
left,
top-notch.
What's that?
It's top-notch.
yeah, when I left 6 years ago, it was a great system.
Do you guys have the ping system in there where you can, if somebody calls 911, that you can ping them and know right where they're?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, you got the floor.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Feel free to ask questions. There's a lot of good things in that system, and it's very, very expensive to do. And I know you won't have the same residential touch, okay? I get that. And that kind of stinks. My daughter worked as a dispatcher here. Her training was like this much, okay? I spent 3 weeks training to be a dispatcher. We trained our civilian dispatchers for 6 weeks. I don't know how far.
No.
I asked them for 2 months, and it took me 2 months.
It takes a lot longer to learn than 6 weeks, okay? There's a lot of computer commands that have to be learned, and you don't run across the same problem every day.
Now, I went.
And I wanna, so when we're talking about how this got brought to light, that we're trying to push through the issue, that's not, it just recently got brought to my attention about the training, right, and the lack thereof. I mean, I don't know, did anybody on this know that they were getting 2 weeks of training? I didn't know that. From what I was told, and this isn't to kick anybody under the bus, everything was fantastic and great in that department, right? So, there's no need for me as a mayor to micromanage and go over there and, no, my job is to, we have our department heads that are taking care of, in every department, and when they're telling me that everything is fantastic and everything is good and nobody's telling me anything different, it was at that point when I was told there could have been some discrepancies and things that are different, is when I addressed the body on this, and rightfully so, because this body is the ones that need to know what's going on in the village. That I can't fix it. They're the ones that pass the legislation. They're in charge of the finances, the property, everything about the village they are in charge of. So I have to bring it to their attention and say, look, we've got some concerns that's been brought to my attention, and how would we like to proceed? We sat down and we said, okay, what's our options? And that's what got us here. So to say that we tried to push it through is not a fair statement. So. I'm sorry, Mr. Bozak, do you have the floor?
The village has a huge liability for recording calls.
Boy.
That is
Yes.
huge. You don't know how many complaints there are in Toledo where we pull calls.
And not only liability to our residents, but liability to our officers and their safety out
Yes.
there is very, very paramount. Did you have anything else, Mr. Mayor?
The other thing, and
Please.
I'm going back quite a few years, when my daughter was a dispatcher, there's only one dispatcher on duty here, right?
At a
Okay.
time, yes.
Who covers when they go to the bathroom?
No.
Who covers for their federal? The officer can't cover if he's on the street.
They wait. It's always how it's
What?
been.
They wait.
So if there's a murder, a robbery, a burglary, he's already out and they've got to go,
But you
they don't
can't
wait indefinitely.
compare Lucas County to North Baltimore. I
But-
don't.
No,
Hold on,
what
hold on.
what I'm saying is,
Hold on.
there's a liability here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a chance to
Then we
talk.
can fix it.
There's always liability. Doesn't matter what.
Hey,
Those are
what-
huge
he said-
liabilities.
Mr.
Liability.
Jordan.
Yes.
Mr. Jordan, he has the floor.
I'm sorry.
If you want to talk,
Okay.
raise your hand and
I'm
I'll give you,
fine.
I'll give you a chance to talk.
That's just, to me, that's a huge liability, having one person, of course, to deal with it.
And that's what we've always done, and that's what's always worked for us.
Absolutely.
And that's, it's probably
But if,
not
like
the best
any-
of decisions that we've made as,
Like any other department, everybody's getting busier.
yes.
And as you get busier, you either grow or you have problems.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Like
Will you state your
were
name
saying,
for the record?
My name's Andrew Cope,
Andrew Cope?
and, like Mr.
Harvey?
Bozak.
Bozak
Mr.
had said and everything, yeah, and the page said over here about everything's different in every community.
Yes.
But at the same time, crime doesn't wait for nobody. So we have to be eligible for everything that happens on any time, Frank. So I agree with him over there and everything he said, so.
Thank you. Appreciate everybody's comments. Mr. Jordan, did you have
I'm
anything?
good, I'm good.
Okay. No.
You'd rather not, trust me. I'm good.
Mr. Bailey?
Can I just say one
You
thing?
sure can.
You're talking about upgrades. I just want to clarify that the Wood County is spending $3.1 million for a CAD RMS upgrade for everybody in the county. Okay? I'm currently in the works of doing a $300,000 upgrade in dispatch. So, I mean, this stuff costs a lot of money, right, whatever way you guys go, I'm
Sure.
just letting you know this is what the county has to offer. So, it is one of those things we take seriously. We dispatch for 53 different fire agencies. Every fire agency in Wood County we dispatch for. So, we dispatch for every police agency except 4. With those being Bowling Green, the city of Perrysburg, and Perrysburg Township, which Perrysburg Township is also, they have to cut some costs through their township, whatever. So they are contemplating coming with us as well. So, and the 4th one is North Baltimore. So every agency that used to have a dispatch center, Northwood, Walbridge, Lake Township, they've all currently contracted with us, just due to the fact that it's more streamlined and more efficient, and it's cheaper.
How many more dispatchers are you gonna take on now that you're taking all of this?
If they
So-
did take it off.
It's, so.
If you guys do, how many more dispatchers are you gonna put per shift?
Well, it all depends on who we take on. So we have to do like a cost analysis. So like, whatever the cost would be, like say, we base it on the number of
How
calls.
many do you currently have
Oh,
per
current-
shift? Any-
24
So
dispatchers.
about 8 per shift?
No, it'd be like 6.
6. Okay, you got a total so that you cover the days off.
Correct.
Because it's 7-day operation. I got you. So it's like, how many per shift? 5 to 6?
5 on days and 4 on nights.
These are all full-time.
And then we have some
Full-time.
mid.
Full-time
mid-
employees, 12-hour shifts. We have A-side, B-side, days and nights, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So we have 5 on days, 4 on nights, a minimum of 4 on days and 3 on nights, right now.
Did you get all that, Mason?
And we have a 10 to 10.
We do have a 10 to 10 position that still needs, is one of the positions that's available to be filled 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
And that covers the busy time.
And someone doing warrants, full-time.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Which we currently enter all North Baltimore's warrants,
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
currently.
Thank you.
So,
I mean, we're the biggest residential county, so I was,
Village.
well, I was talking about Wood County as a whole.
Right.
We're the biggest in the state.
Um,
Wood County is the biggest residential county in
we're
the
the,
state.
we're the 5th largest county in the
So-
state.
Yeah.
Well, I know
As
we were
far
like
as
the first.
geographical.
So, yeah,
You know,
so,
we're 615 square miles.
Very
So-
low population census-wise, though.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Only 132,900.
All right. If there's nothing else, I want to thank everybody for the participation. Thank you, officers, for taking the time to come over here and answer any questions, and it's much, much appreciated. We're going to move on.
Mayor?
Yes, of course. Does
Could
it?
Josh kind of go summarize this?
Yes,
Yes.
please do, Josh.
I'll try my best to summarize this. You know, some of these costs, and we got a soft quote for $45,000 for vendor communication, soft quote, and also stuff like the CAD license for $2,815 a year. That there's a potential for that to be paid by the county grant, but that would require a change order, and that may not go through. So anyways, going from the top. So we currently appropriate $243,160 to our dispatch. That would have to go up to probably $300,000 to $400,000 year one, I would think. I would estimate, and I'm not sure if that's out of line math, but please tell me. But yeah, Owens Community College training, 8 hours, we get them through that. If overtime at the current wages, that's about $1,200. If we do, we have to do the Central Square CAD training just
I want to stop right there,
overtime.
if I can, please. I'm sorry, just because I want to talk about the training just for a second. How often do you guys, is it just a one-time training for your dispatchers, or is there continuous training?
So we currently train, our FTO program is roughly 6 months long.
Sure,
To
to give
to learn the system and how things flow. We do have additional training. Sarah, can you?
So we, per our certifications, we have to keep a standard, we have to meet X amount of continuing education hours, but our training program itself for new hires is a 6-month process, if not longer.
Oh, wow. And then, and obviously, through that 6-month process or continued education that you guys might provide for your dispatchers, is there any kind of, I assume yes, but I'm just asking, I hope I don't sound too ignorant when I ask this, emergency service training or emergency response training? You
So
know,
a part of that,
as far as, like, if somebody's having a heart attack.
dispatcher is department specific. Certain aspects of it are regulated through the state. So at Wood County, we are emergency medical dispatch certified.
That's right.
That's incorporated into our training program. So once you get that certification, or that, the signed piece of paper saying
Yep.
you're finished with your training, all of the certifications are done. You
Okay.
are free to be on your own. You are not going to be monitored. Obviously, we're still going to be there to help those that are just, new
course.
on their own. But every certification is done within that training process. It's all incorporated.
So, okay.
And there are additional trainings. We send dispatchers,
Mhm.
we just sent a couple to, what is it, Blue Card?
Yeah,
A
I
Blue Card training.
actually just went through a blue card training for fire dispatching just a few weeks ago.
And then Owens, we're part of the consortium up at Owens, so Owens offers training, as long as you're a consortium member for dispatch training, that we send you, and obviously, you know, you get paid overtime because we send you typically on your days off.
Yeah.
For that training. Obviously, the state reimbursed us up to a certain portion for CPT hours, but like for dispatch, they don't do it. That's just something that we just take out of our training budget to do.
Perfect, thank you very much. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure.
So, Central Square CAD training, about 5,000 if all overtime, that's at current wages. That's 32 hours per employee. CAD training itself, about 11,660. I just got that the other day from Central Square themselves. That's if we do the training here. There's a chance that we can get it done at the county with their dispatchers, but logistically it's a little hard. We have to have multiple sessions because you have to have someone here at all times. Also, I want to make sure I mention that we can't go to Central Square until our dispatch is trained on Central Square, so we postponed that. We only have 5 years free of Central Square, and the clock's already been running, so just want to make sure that while not a number, that is something we need to include in there. CMI RMS access extension, which I had to go, I've already spent $2,790 on that. I would spend another $2,790 if we continue past June 30th, and then $5,580 a year approximately after that. So again, CMI RMS, we're replacing that with Central Square RMS, so we would not be paying that going forward. CAD license would be approximately $2,815. I think I already mentioned this, but that's potentially get paid for by the county. And then we have Railcom doing some stuff with our radios, which would affect dispatch. But again, Bender Communications at $45,000 is the big one. So I estimate around $70,000 to train. Again, increasing our appropriations to about $300,000 to $400,000. We have the unknown costs with that.
You're saying your estimate is $70,000 for this complete package? You just said just the train.
Well, 71 plus the 243.
Right. You said additional costs. You said just the train, and I want to make sure that there's more than just training. It's also the upgrades.
Also upgrades and training, yes.
Yes. Okay, I got you.
This is what we know, but I mean, there's always unknowns coming around the corner, and then.
Was there any concerns or any questions?
And that's on top of the 45. This is an addition to the 45 that she was stating earlier.
45 is part of the 71.
I think the 71 is part of that.
But it would balloon our appropriated budget for this. And balloon it even more so going forward.
So I think if there's no more.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Mr. Cannon, what is the starting wage for a dispatch in Wood County?
It's $27.68 roughly, right in that neighborhood, but we're still in contract negotiations, so that could go up depending on how a fact finder rules. And so it's anywhere from $27 to $28, maybe 29, in that range somewhere. Because right now it's just kind of.
So 110,000 would be about approximately.
Well, you got.
With benefits.
With benefits, that's what I was
with
going to ask. So the benefits, there's a retirement, because it's a county.
Correct.
Is that under OPERS? OPERS?
Yep.
For police officers?
Obviously, we have comprehensive health care.
Health insurance.
With low deductibles. We get paid 12 paid holidays. So if you work a holiday.
It's double time and a half.
It's double time and a half. And then if you're off, you still get paid for that holiday.
So conservatively speaking, I think the village would save about $200,000 a year.
Plus, we also pay for uniforms as well and give them $750 every year to replace any items they may need.
Wow, so you got uniform allowance.
Yeah.
If, per se, North Baltimore changed all their equipment and trained their dispatchers to what we've talked about tonight, how easy would it be for one of our dispatchers to step into a job at the county?
Well, that's hard to say, depending on who's training them.
If we sent them to Owens and they're trained, and would it be quite easy?
Go to Owens
Yeah,
to
we
train.
don't.
They would come here. We train in-house.
We
to our
train
standards
in-house.
for our own
Okay.
equipment and
Yeah.
technology.
We have our own set of policy and procedures and training program that we've implemented. That's what we use to
Yeah,
train the future.
I guess what I'm getting at, my fear is, we cannot pay our dispatchers that amount.
Right, so if you train somebody and we had an opening, they very well could apply for us.
And we would become a stepping stone.
It could be very well.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's where I get
That's one of
balloon
my
the
concerns.
budget to
And-
400,000.
About what we do in.
That's what I would do.
Departments.
Yeah.
It's a very good question. But the continued education is at Owens, that's what you guys are referring to?
Yeah, and we have other trainings
Yeah,
that we go
sure.
elsewhere, not just all Owens.
We had a lady in the back, name, please? Marissa Swain, please.
Nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you.
I did have a clarifying question about the grants we had mentioned earlier. Were any grants looked into for specifically equipment? That seems like a very large chunk of the concerned money problem.
So the $45,000 that they quoted us, I'm not sure that they, did you guys look into that? The reason why I'm not sure is because we just got the quote, just recently, so, was there?
Yes, so I can kind of explain the process of how I went through the grants. I think that might be helpful, and if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, so what I did is I went through grants.gov, which is a database that has virtually every federal grant that's offered, at that time. So I did go through basically the entirety of everything I could find, agency by agency, including FEMA. And I kind of kept a list. I excluded ones. I wrote, like, here's why it wouldn't fit. I really, really struggled to find anything that was going to pay for it, anything related to dispatch. There are some grants out there that I was able to find that were labeled emergency services, but a lot of those grants are not currently being offered. They were from previous years. So far I have found nothing that can pay for. Yeah.
Not to nitpick, not specifically dispatch the workers, but the equipment itself is what I was wondering.
Yes, just the equipment, not displacing the, yes, I think.
I know that's a big component, obviously, that's a huge cost.
Sure, yeah, it's like $45,000 is the
That's
cost.
what I was specifically looking for, but I'm assuming you included.
My experience from Lucas County, it's hard to get grants for communications.
Correct. And I've done the same kind of thing. I mean, as far as equipment, they typically don't offer a lot of that because most of that is put out for competitive bid currently, just like your fire trucks, your police cruisers, all that stuff. Same with, like, I don't know what vendor you use to get a console price.
Vendor communication.
Okay, so typically all that stuff's put out to bid for contract, and then the state negotiates with that vendor for the cheapest and best price. We currently used Evans, and we currently have Zybex equipment now, which we're changing vendors, and we're going with Evans. And there's a couple different contracts that it falls under, and you use that contract number for the best negotiated price. Same with, like, state bid for the police cruisers. It's already a contract negotiated
Right.
price. This is what it is.
Yes.
It's cut and dry.
Thank you. Great, Mr. Penny, appreciate it.
Karen, can I just say one more thing?
Yes, Penny.
I just feel like there's a lot of information that is still being discussed. So, again, I think, that you just found out, more budgeting information about the equipment. I don't think this should be passed today. I think you guys have more information now that you guys need to continue.
So our options are, we can pass it as a regular legislation, we can pass it as an emergency, we can not pass it and keep dispatching the village going forward, or we can table it. There's our options. Is it
May I say something?
Yes, please.
I just want you to know that this has not been an easy decision or a quick decision. We have been talking about this since like November. Again, it wasn't brought to the public because we didn't even know if we were going to move forward with anything. I'll be honest, I was against it as well until I went to Wood County and viewed what they had to offer. And I believe it will serve our citizens a great benefit. The hard part has been, we don't want to displace anybody. But we also have to be responsible for our citizens' safety. and fiscally responsible. And so, please don't think that this was rushed into, because I promise you it wasn't. It has been a very difficult decision, and we've had a lot of discussion on this. And unfortunately, the information she gave us just adds to. It doesn't go, well, now we gotta, that changes the perspective. It just adds to it. To go, and there's more money we have to spend. But the priority has to be on the safety for our citizens and the safety for our officers. And so, but please, don't think this is a rush job, because it wasn't.
No, and I've talked to some council members, and putting anybody out of work in this village is not an easy thing. That's why they're going to go into executive session to discuss, a potential severance. That's a potential severance. It's not a guarantee. That's completely up to them to try to help. If they make the decision to move forward with the county, is to help the employees to be okay until they find other employment. Plus, unemployment benefits would be available. Becky, and then we got to move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just want to ask a question.
Please.
What are you going to do about walk-ins like we have now? Will there be a phone there? Will
Of
there
course,
be a body
yes.
there?
In tech-
What about that?
There will be a phone, there'll be alarms going to the cameras that can be viewed on our police officers' phones. We can do a Ring camera, we can do a whole bunch of stuff.
So what we were talking about with Intech is a camera that is there when somebody walks in. Their phone that they had is it's detected, so that they can turn on and they're automatically in route, right? I mean, and then throughout the week.
There will be a camera there that will notify the officer that's
what I'm
on
saying.
duty.
Yes.
And they'll be able to view it to see, is there an emergency going on? Were they able to make it to the 911?
What if that officer is tied up with something?
Well, we're covering as much as we can.
I know, but I just...
But with your concern that you brought up the first meeting, that was exactly, I went to them and asked, can we put a camera in there so that the officers can view it, so they can check to go, okay, that person is getting help by getting on the phone, or they're laying on the floor and there's an emergency that needs somebody there right now.
And if there's somebody there that needs the emergency right now, I would assume that our officer is going to be making contact with the EMS department that's right here, that's on standby, and then would come out here and attend to that until they got up.
There's going to be a direct dial 911 phone there as well, right?
As soon as they pick it up, it goes right to 911.
Right to 911. So if you need fire department, EMS, or police, it connects you directly to...
It's going to connect you, if we go that route,
yes.
it's going to connect
Yes.
you directly to the dispatchers in Wood County who will respond to whatever the emergency.
Play around with the idea of a red phone for emergencies, blue phone for non-emergencies type of thing.
Which would
signs
be-
saying...
It's just one phone.
Well, the concern there is people still wants to have access to, if they want to make a call for water. We don't want somebody to have to, if it's an emergency, we want them to pick it up and go straight to, we don't want them to have to hit 1 for emergency, 2, we kind of kick that around, but if there's a true emergency, pick it up and it goes right to the county, and then if they need non-emergency, I agree with you, so it's not confusing, so we need to really, really make sure that
Yeah,
it's...
we'll be definitely discussing more in detail.
Yeah, with that being said, we have to move on. I want to thank everybody for your participation. It's a real blessing that you guys was willing to attend and share with your thoughts and concerns and your comments. I know it's not easy to talk in public all the time, so thank you so much. With that being said, we have to move on to our third reading of ordinance. Excuse me. Moving on to resolution number 01-2026, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a dispatch services agreement with the Wood County Sheriff and declare an emergency.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 01-2026. And do we need a separate one?
Do you want to have the emergency clause? Nope, that's all you have to do. You have to just, I read it that way. All you have to do is, there's a motion.
And I
by Ms.
second that.
Beaupre. There's a second by Mr. Sweat. Vote when ready.
Ms. Hefner?
Yes.
Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Ms. Beaupre?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your participation, everybody. Be in contact. Thank you.
Okay.
Moving on, we need to...
Can we get, need a 2-minute break?
No, we've got to move on. We got committee of the whole. What time is it? I mean, it's 5:30. Yeah, it's 5:30. How would this how does this council want to proceed? Do you guys just want me to ask the questions? Do we want to? I mean, Dee, you chair. You're the president of council. Do you want to ask the questions? Do you guys want me to ask the questions? I'd be glad to. Or do we want to ask the questions? Thank you, Mr. Harden.
Yeah. Who do we want first?
Well, we've got everybody here. This isn't the way that we usually interview candidates for anything, so I'm a little concerned how we got here.
Executive session can only cover employees. The council is non-employees appointed, plus the recommendation of our village solicitor. Executive session can only cover employees. Council non-employees.
What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
G1.
I got you. 121-22G1.
Yes.
To go into talk about what you have on there.
Only in regards to employees. Because council's not employees.
So you're saying that we're not going into executive session to talk to the candidates? Is that what you're saying? What am I missing?
Correct. We are doing.
We have to do it right now.
Interviews, yes. Is that not what you were referring to?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm referring to. How did we get here? In my opinion, I think we should have a separate meeting for this. To just come up and meet with the candidates, and that's what they've done in the past. It's kind of a special meeting to meet the candidates. That's why I'm asking, how would you guys like me to proceed here? Yeah.
Can we start the next meeting and talk to the candidates if they're already here?
Yeah.
Since we're starting, our next meeting probably starts like
Yeah.
right now anyways.
Can we?
Yeah, but we can't take any action.
Well, we could do it Tuesday.
Yeah, we were going to do Tuesday anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
I apologize to the candidates. We probably shouldn't have
Would
booked this at
we be
4:30.
opposed to have a special meeting to interview the candidates maybe next Monday?
But they are here now.
All the candidates are here now.
Okay.
So if we want to start committee of the whole and interviewing in committee of the whole, we can do that, or we can extend this and do committee of the whole right afterwards.
Well, once you adjourn this meeting, this special meeting, I'm not sure you can go right back into, I'm not sure that you can.
Then I think since our candidates are
We
here,
need
we
to
ask
just
the
go forward.
questions.
Yeah.
Just move forward.
So,
Who's asking questions?
there's kind of what, so, we have, Mr. Woodruff.
Yes.
You're who I got.
First up to bat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, got you right there.
Should we sit in the middle or something?
You're probably used to being last. No, the W on your name.
Why are you interested in serving on the village council?
I always thought about, getting into council and mayor since I was in my 20s and stuff, but then I got married, got kids and stuff, and, got the shift and raising 3 kids and moved away, but I came back, I've been looking at things, and I'm retired now, I got more time, and every time I do a job, I always like to spend as much time as possible, and I got plenty of time to do it, and I've been kind of watching videos on the council meetings and stuff, but there's a lot of things I need to look at.
Sure. And you're currently retired?
Yes.
Thank you. What do you see as the most important issues facing the village of North Baltimore?
Right now, it's roads, it's basically taken care of.
Roads
and issues, and just communication between the council and stuff. Needs to be talking, like down at the park, there's probably issues around town, little things, major stuff, but like dispatch and stuff like that, you guys are taking care of already.
Sure. Wonderful. How familiar are you with the role and responsibility of village council versus like the mayor and the administration? So we have different roles, we play different roles. So as far as the village council goes, the legislative body, are you familiar with what their roles and responsibilities are?
I know they got them broken down, where some take care of the police, some take care of the streets, every council member takes care of that. Mayor basically don't really make no major decisions really, but that's what the council, you know, they vote on that. And there's still a sport meeting, I don't know if you break the ties or there's a tie.
Yeah, there's a tie that the mayor votes, yes.
But yeah, but you gotta know the community and.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so each member of council has a committee that they chair, and they're legislative, which means that they make the laws, and policies and the bylaws, and then this body, we carry it out. We make sure that they're...
You're like the judicial?
No, not judicial, executive, the legislative and executive. How do you approach making decisions when you may not have all the information you want? I mean, you just seen that in action the last couple of weeks.
Well, I'm saying you don't have time to get the information?
Or just it might not be before you at the time, and you might want to gather more information.
Well, you
How
gotta
would
look
you
at
handle that
everybody's
situation?
situation, you gotta look at the good sides, the bad, I mean, there's always cons and pros to any idea you do. You gotta look at how it affects and stuff. Basically, you gotta research people's opinion, see what the community wants, what they need, you know, and safety and all that, right up there.
Absolutely. Can you describe your experience working with maybe budgets or public funds or even financial oversight, or what's your thought process when it comes to that? Because just so everybody in here knows that the legislative body has complete control over the finances of the entity by the Ohio Revised Code, by the village in which they represent.
Well, the dime maker was on a bunch of launch things for guys, projects and stuff, when they get guys in, how to make the dies, upgrading the machinery, how much it costs, you know, you gotta, well, you get the cheapest one. You gotta oversee, I mean, I got my house and stuff to take care of, my 401k, that's my end of stuff. But I'm doing good now, I'm retired, and, well, it's sure. But yeah, I'm pretty good with math, a little bit with math and numbers, so. Sometimes I get too involved in it, you know, as far as details, and, you know, the more you dig in, the more you find out.
I think that's kind of what this question was kind of leading to, right? Being the financial oversight. Sorry if you're put on the spot, but at least you're getting it over with, Mike, right? How would you balance the interests of maybe the individual residents, so when you're considering, with what you believe is the best interest of the village as a whole, so maybe individuals versus, you know, the overall grand scheme of things? How would you balance your interests?
Well, you look at everybody's opinions first of all. You got to consider safety. You got to consider the community as a whole, you know, bring it together. And some people, then you got to look at the laws too, you know, what the state laws and the city ordinance are too. And you got, you know, repercussions if you do something wrong. But basically, you just listen to the person. You're talking about one individual.
Just if you've got residents versus, you know, if somebody's, you know, a couple of people's putting, I mean, we just went through that right here. What's your thoughts on that? We got a room full of people that's got some concerns, and rightfully so, about the future of a potential department. And then, as Ms. Hefner just stated, you know, we're looking at the best service that we can provide to the residents, you know, what's as a whole.
Yeah, but you got, you know, safety, you're always the first thing. Plus, you want to bring the community together, so you want to talk to them, you got to communicate with them.
Absolutely.
Get everybody's ideals and input in, and then you got, you know, there's laws, and then you got the way people want to do it, so you got to kind of blend that in.
Sure. Have you I'm sorry.
Information, you got to get the information out there, you know,
Absolutely.
communication. I realize that in the factories and stuff, where a lot of people don't know what this guy's doing or what this guy's doing, but everybody knows what everybody else is doing. And goes pretty good that way.
There's a team. Have you previously served on any boards, commissions, maybe any volunteer organizations? If you have, how does that experience might help you in this role of servitude?
Well, since I retired, I ain't really done no lot. I just get my house round up and stuff. But as far as being on teams and stuff, I was a team leader as far as the die shop. where basically they did away with supervision. They only have one supervisor controlling the whole maintenance area, and each, the maintenance, you got your electricians, millwrights, and your bag makers, and they all split up, and they each had their own team leaders, which basically made all calls on major projects, and, jobs coming in, this is hot, this is that hot, how can we give it to them?
Okay. So,
Well, I work pretty hard, I like getting in there and getting the job done, and
how would you handle a disagreement or a conflict if you were in a public setting?
well, first of all, I'd sit down, look at it, and see if it was my fault or his fault, look at all the ins and outs of the situation, and probably go up to the guy that, confront the people that I got a conflict with, and talk to them, and see if we come to terms, reason, nice and calmly, I could be wrong, they could be right, they have points that I might not know about, so you gotta kind of work together, and then after we talk for a while, maybe go back, talk about it again in front of everybody, and his mind might change, my mind might change, you could do right, I could do right, but basically you gotta talk it out with the other person and work it out.
To help resolve the issue. Okay. Are you able to commit the time necessary to attend the meetings? Review it, to review the materials, get prepared for the meetings in advance, and to participate in the committee work. As you stated, each council member has a particular committee that they chair, and there's roles and responsibilities that come with that, and there's time that needs to be.
Oh yeah, I plan on spending a lot of time up there. To tell you the truth is, I walk around town quite a bit, look at things, talk to people, and like I say, I'm getting really bored now and stuff, but I always want to get into politics and I always want to do something for the community too, and I figure this is a way, like down to the park, you got the scout house down there, I know that needs a lot of work down there, and like when I was down there at the skate park out in the park, and kids used to go down there all the time, they said a ramp and stuff, after a while they quit going down there because there's always broken glass down there, screws were sticking out, doors were coming out, so everybody quit going down there, but then after a while I came back, it was totally gone,
And that's why there was holes in it, it was unsafe, it was never upkept, and it
was like your duck issue down at the pond, I got some ideas how to fix that too.
Right. Mike, what do you believe makes you a good fit to fill this vacancy? And what perspectives would you be able to bring to this body, to this council?
Well, I've lived here all my life, I know a lot of people here, I know how things are done basically. The last couple of years I've been kind of testing the waters, coming in, doing this, asking questions seriously, how things are getting done, why ain't they getting done, and I've been talking to people in the water department, the street department, stuff, like in the water department, they say a lot of times that the equipment ain't being upkept quite a bit, stuff, and I know that a couple of meetings ago, you guys talked about a PM system for the sweeper. They don't do no PMs or nothing, but, you can do a basic PM on, like check the oil for leaks and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff like maintenance and upgrade, but I can bring.
Okay. Does anybody?
I'm not good at
that. You're right. I know, but that's not an easy thing to do, Mike. I mean, to stand in front of a group of people and.
Can we go first?
And go first.
Yeah.
And,
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And I know it's not easy, guys, and I apologize, right? But is there any questions from the?
I have one.
Yes, please.
Because the other ones were covered. What would be your long-term vision for our village?
To grow, look like a nice village town, and basically grow, you say, community wise. That's the most important thing, to keep things running, keep things going. As far as the improvements and stuff in town, quite a bit over there. I'd like to see Broadway get all the way down, paved, but stuff like that. You got the park, great park. You can do a lot down. You guys ever get the football field? You ever buy that?
Nope, that's privately owned right now.
Okay, but I mean, there's a lot you can do down at the park and stuff, with community, bring them together better. But see this community intended, I can see this world a little bit bigger.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was our last question. If nobody else has any, Mr. Jordan Thomas? Jordan, this is Jordan Thomas. I'm so sorry. Well, I don't know. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Oh, boy.
It's definitely not.
I just bowled with a guy named Jordan last night, so. Oh, my gosh. So you've given us your letter of interest to potentially serve as a council person, and I'm gonna ask the same questions. There's no wrong answers. Please try to, I know it's not easy, I'm just trying to, there's no wrong answers, so, but why would you, Jordan, why would you be interested in serving, as a part of this body, as a council?
Yeah, so I'm a relatively newer resident in North Baltimore. We lived here just a little under 2 years, but honestly, we've really loved being here. We lived in Findlay before. This is my first time kind of living outside of Findlay, and we've really, really enjoyed it. I've always kind of had an interest in being involved more in the community. I really love the small, like, knit factor of North Baltimore, so I feel like it could be a really good fit to try and get involved. I previously worked for a short amount of time at the municipal court in Findlay, and I really enjoyed getting to work with the community members, so I feel like even though I don't have the capacity to probably work full-time, like, this would be a great way for me to kind of get involved in the community to the extent I could be helpful.
Wonderful. Okay, Jordan, what would you see as maybe the most important issues that we are currently facing as a village?
I would say one of the things that seems like important to me would be continuing to improve our infrastructure in town. Obviously, like, I think it's been super great that Broadway has been repaved. I mean, that's been like something super great. I think continuing to improve on trying to attract more businesses in town, whether that's small businesses or even like larger retailers, would be really great for the community as a whole. I think also just safety for our kids. I have a 2-year-old daughter who will eventually go to school here, so just kind of wanting to ensure that this is a great community for her to grow up in.
Thank you. Jordan, how familiar are you with the roles and responsibilities of what this body does?
I would say I'm somewhat familiar. I've obviously never been on a council before, so I don't know all of the in and outs, but I have worked in kind of like a courthouse setting before, and I do have some experience. So, I mean, I think I have a lot to learn coming into something like this, but I think I have kind of at least a basic understanding.
Okay. How do you approach making decisions when you may not have all the information before you?
Yeah, sure. So this is actually something I incur on a daily basis at my day job. We're a lot of the times faced with trying to make the best decisions just based on the facts that we have in front of us. I think unfortunately in an ideal world you would have all of the facts, all the information lined out so that you could make the best decision. That often just doesn't happen just based on, I'll say, real-time circumstances, not enough time to get everything that you need. So I think really it comes down to trying to make the best informed decision that you can with the facts that you have in front of you.
Thank you. Could you please describe your experience maybe working with budgets or any kind of public funds, or get your financial oversight of being a council person?
Yeah, sure. So I don't have a ton of experience working with budgets per se. I have had input in my department in recommending things to be considered when the budget was being made. I haven't, though, been directly involved in actually creating the budget or allocating certain funds to those matters. I, at least like on a personal level, like perform all of my own budgeting, so I have some at least financial knowledge in that aspect, but in kind of like a council setting, I don't have a ton.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm quite sure that not many here do, right? Like, and actually, as a council member, it took me quite a while to understand the budget.
Oh, okay.
Once I did, it certainly helped tremendously in performing our duties. How would you balance the interests of potential individual residents versus the overall impact that a decision might have on the overall community?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to obviously listen to the individual concerns from the residents. I think, though, you kind of have to look at it somewhat as a whole of how many people are going to be impacted one way or another. Kind of like the matter that was discussed earlier. It's very unfortunate that potentially like the dispatchers might be negatively impacted, but how does that then weigh against like all of the other residents in the community as well? So I think it's just trying to balance that approach.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Have you previously served on any boards, commissions, or any volunteer organizations within the community? And if so, how does the experience that you might have played a role in, how has that experience prepared you for maybe something that you might encounter here as a council person?
Yeah, so I've not participated in like a nonprofit or anything like that directly in this community, but I do currently assist another nonprofit with all of their like state registrations and their charity filings and different things like that. I've also been working with them at least a little bit on some of their grant applications, so not directly related to this community, but I do have some experience at least in that capacity.
Nice. How do you handle maybe a disagreement or a conflict in a public setting?
Yeah, I think it's very obviously easy for conflict to come up. I think one of the best things to do is just kind of listen to the information that's being given, try not to take it personally, and then respond basically like in a calm manner. Try and hear everybody's sides, and then kind of make an informed decision from there.
Sure. Are you able to commit the time that's necessary to be effective in the role of a council person as far as attending the meetings? Every council member will get all the information and all the agendas prior to the meetings, so they have the opportunity to review the agenda and everything that goes with the agenda. But are you able to commit to the time necessary for that?
Yes. Yes, I have the time to commit to it. I read contracts every day for my job, so reading is one of my things I like to do, so, yes.
Okay. What do you believe would make you a good fit to fill this vacancy? And what perspective, what strengths would you bring to this body? So what would make you a good candidate, and then what would you bring to this body as far as strengths go?
Sure. I think one of the great things that I could bring as a candidate would just be a fresh perspective. I haven't lived here in town my whole life, so I think that could be viewed as an advantage. I think getting opinions from a wide group of people is always great to kind of consider all sides. I think some of the things that I could bring to the table is I'm great at time management. I really enjoy reading and I like digging into things. I always love a challenge. So I think kind of working in a setting like this with other people would be fantastic, and it would be a great way that I could also give back to the community at the same time.
And then the last one, I'm going to follow up with Ms. Hepner's question. Long-term, what would your long-term vision be for the village?
Yeah, I think long-term, I think it kind of goes back to the infrastructure comment I made earlier. I think really just trying to make North Baltimore like a place that people really want to be, a great place to live. I feel like our whole community is just getting larger and larger, and I think that trend's going to continue to grow. So I think kind of equipping the community to keep growing so that we can and people like desire to be here, I think would be fantastic.
Fantastic. Does anybody have any questions for Jordan? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you very much. If Mr. Chapin, James Chapin. James, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm going to ask the same question, James. Trying to get through this, guys, as painless as possible. Again, I know that it's very difficult. Why are you interested? Why would you be interested in serving as a council member at this time, James?
I want to get more involved with the community.
All right. I like that. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Short, sweet, to the point.
James, what do you see as maybe a couple of the most important issues that this village is currently facing?
Well, the most popular one, the roads. Yeah. The continued improvement, but also to maintain the roads as well. Yeah. Beyond that, I think just building the community, building downtown, bringing in business, keeping what we have open.
Yeah, very good. Yes, I agree with you. James, how familiar are with you the role and responsibilities, what their tasks are as council?
That I'm not very familiar with.
Okay. And we certainly can't expect you guys to be if you've never served. And that's okay. How would you approach making decisions if you were selected as to fill this vacancy? How would you approach making decisions when you may not have all the information in front of you at that time?
I think take a step back, try to get as much as I possibly can. And just taking the information I have and making the best possible outcome for North Baltimore and the residents.
Nice. Can you describe your experience of possibly maybe working with budgets, any public funds or financial oversight? for that
So,
matter?
I've never set budgets at work, but I've had to deal with budgets, whether it's payroll, ordering supplies, materials, that kind of thing. So, you know, that's what you're allowed to spend, make it work. I deal with that every year at work.
Nice. So, yeah, so you have some oversight there then of what you have to work with.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. How would you, if you had to make a decision based on maybe some individual residents, you know, how would you balance that with the decision that you would have to make considering the village as a whole?
The
So
village
yeah.
as a whole has to come first over any individual person.
All right. Okay, thank you. Have you previously served, was you going to expound on that, or was that, I thought somebody said something. Okay, thank you. Glad you got an answer. Have you previously served on any boards, commissions, or volunteer organizations within the village?
Not with the village. I mean, I've been on like safety committee boards at work.
Sure.
That's pretty much it.
Safety committee boards?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see sitting on a safety board committee at work, and maybe the experiences that you've entailed in serving in that capacity, would that help? Do you see that as possibly helping you as a council member?
Yeah, to an extent. You know, looking, finding issues, and then bringing it to the group to find a resolution for it.
There you go. Good answer. Thank you. How would you vision yourself in handling a disagreement or a conflict, particularly in a public setting? How would you vision yourself in handling it?
I think the first act would be de-escalation. Don't let anything get too crazy. Then again, step back, collect all sides, and then use the information you have to make the best answer.
Okay. James, are you able to commit the time necessary to serve in this capacity?
Yep.
And to review everything that's, you know, we send out the information ahead of time so that everybody has the information prior to coming up here and having to make those decisions. So
Yeah, there'd be
You're
life
confident.
adjustments. I have 3 young kids, and you know, between basketball and dance right now, we're busy, but it's doable.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. What do you believe would make you a good fit to fill this vacancy, James?
I believe I'm transparent.
Okay.
I think that's very important for any government official.
Absolutely. What positive perspectives do you believe that you would bring beyond the transparency?
A new face, but the same old North Baltimore resident.
Okay.
So I think still having the best interest of the community in mind, but being a new person out there.
Yeah, correct. And then our another question, long term, what kind of vision do you have for the village?
Keep improving the roads, bring in more business, and expand when we can, but keep that small town feel.
That's okay. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Chapin? Thank you very much. You guys are being put on the spot. I'm up here smiling because you guys are really, I'm impressed. So, thank you, Mr. Chapin. Heather?
All right. I'll stand over here just so like no one has to like look at my back.
Okay.
I brought note cards.
Yes,
I'm
that's
prepared.
fine.
I'll scoot back so you have
Oh,
those words.
okay.
Where she comes prepared.
Yeah.
Heather, thank you for your interest.
Thank you.
First and foremost, you're welcome. And but can I ask, why are you interested in serving as a council member?
Just like James, lifelong resident. My kids are growing up here. His are growing up here. You know, I think we, at a certain age, we're to the point where, like, I don't know, maybe we like to step out of our comfort zone to also give back to the community that we grew up with. Not just for ourselves or like the younger ones, but the older ones as well.
Pointed to me when you said that.
No, no. Well, I mean, James said, "Oh, North Baltimore resident," and I'm sitting here waiting. Are we to that point?
That was a jest. Just trying to keep it light up here, guys. Trying to take the pressure off.
No, that's.
Hey, Heather, what do you see as maybe some of the most important issues that we are faced with as a village?
Obviously the new recent one, the dispatchers. I mean, it's tough, but you can't make everyone happy. So I understand that. Jordan had a good point. The roads, everyone complains about those. The trains, although we have nothing to do with that.
Sure.
And, you know, just, I would say those main things are what, like, I've seen everyone complain about here recently. Maybe not so much the trains, but I complain about them.
Sure, sure. Yes, trains are certainly challenging. Yes. They are necessary, unfortunately.
Yes.
It would have been nice, but that's okay. Heather, how familiar are you with maybe your role, what your roles and responsibilities would be as a council person?
I'm not very familiar with any. I've been part of like union boards, like not on the boards themselves, but attending union meetings.
Sure.
Too, you know, because I would like to know what's going on, you know, and they're getting my money.
Yeah.
So I don't know a whole lot. I know that you guys are responsible for like passing ordinances, budgeting. I don't know too much about budgeting.
Okay.
And obviously just like the whole oversight of the community.
Okay. How would you approach making the decisions that you're faced with? If maybe you just, like, we do a pretty good job of getting the information out there, but say that there was some information that might be missing that you might want to have before making that. How would you approach that situation?
Try to do research that I might be able to do prior to. You know, Jordan said, oh, in a perfect world, you would have everything available. Well, no, in a perfect world, everything would just be perfect, and it'd just be that.
Yes. We wouldn't have those challenges.
Yeah. Look for any information that I could, and I mean, you can't make everyone happy.
Sure.
And that's unfortunate. It has to be like the mass majority, so, or try.
There you go. Can you describe any experiences you might have had working with maybe budgets or public funds, or any kind of any financial oversight?
No, except for my household, and I wouldn't say I'm very good with that either. My husband doesn't think so. But I have an associate's degree in business management, so I've learned some stuff. I haven't really directly applied them to anything.
So it's just a matter of being faced with it, getting the information, then putting it to work, right? Like,
yeah, I do not care for numbers though. I did 2 accounting classes. I did not.
So if you are considered, or we don't want to put you chair in finances. Like
no, I mean, that would take a lot of learning, and just numbers are not my strong point.
We would take it one step at a time.
Yes.
Can you describe, or excuse me, so if you had a conflict of interest between, no, that's not the question. How would you balance the interest of maybe some individual persons within the village, the residents, with what you believe is maybe the best interest of the village as a whole? How would you address that?
If one resident has some concerns, obviously they should come to council meeting and bring it up to the council. Because I myself, if like someone comes up to me and says, oh, I have this problem, well, I myself cannot do something about it. They're going to have to bring it to higher people. And, you know, if it's in the best interest of the village, I would hope they would do that.
Okay. Have you served previously on maybe any boards, commissions, or volunteer work?
No, I have not. I've done like research on certain things that like pertain to like my life and some events I went through, but no, I have not.
Okay, thank you. There's the one. How would you handle a disagreement or conflict in a public setting? So if you was elected, or if you was, appointed to this vacancy, and you had some people that was upset about some of the decisions that we might make, how would you handle that conflict?
Calmly and let them know that they are being heard. I think that's a big problem with like what we have seen tonight. They don't feel like their concerns are being heard. And which, I mean, I've noticed that they are, especially with you. You know, you were pretty calm and like sticking to the facts, and you know, some stuff was, you know, kind of thrown at you, and it's like, don't attack them.
That's okay.
It's not just any one person's fault, and you know, just calmly and at least let them know that they're being heard and things will be taken into consideration.
Thank you. Are you able to commit the time necessary to attend the meetings, to prepare for the meetings when you have the information sent to you, and it would be delivered to your house, and to participate in the committee that you would chair? Do you have the time that would be necessary to fulfill those obligations?
Yes, I work third shift over at UPS. It's not bad. Honestly, it's the benefits for me. And I work third shift. You know, I have kids. They're all in sports and that. But you know what? It's a perfect time for my husband to, you know, step up to the plate.
All right.
Pull his weight. So, you know, make some dinner some night.
Okay. All right. So, what do you believe, Heather, would make you a good fit for this vacant council seat?
I feel I'm at a really good age that can see, like, you know, insights from like younger generations and even, you know, to the older generations. I feel like I'm kind of an old soul though, not gonna lie. But, you know, since like I have kids, you know, I want to see the community, you know, blossom.
Sure.
For everyone, not just, you know, like myself, but, you know, older generations and, you know, I don't know. There's really so many things there. I'm just a younger person and with some different perspectives.
Sure.
And opinions.
Do you have any long-term visions for what do you think needs to happen within the village as far as long-term?
Infrastructure is a big one. Obviously, you're not going to get away from that answer. I'm sorry, Mayor. But Broadway down on this side has turned out very well, and like with the bridges opening back up, that helps out a lot too.
Sure, fantastic. So infrastructure.
Yes.
That's
I think that's really our main one. You're gonna find little things that's just gonna irk some people, but
that's okay.
That's everywhere.
It's the cost of doing business. It's the cost of serving the public.
Yes.
And that's okay. Our job is to get them as much information as we can, accurate information. So thank you for that. Any questions for Heather, Ms. Bressman? All right, thank you very much. We've got Mr. Bozak. Okay. Well, thank you for your participation earlier. Much appreciated. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Bozak.
And it is a tough position to be in.
It is. That's okay. We signed up for it. We're all right with it. All right, let's move on. Mr. Bozak, why are you interested in possibly serving as a councilman?
First and foremost, it's the right thing for me. I've been a resident here for 28 years. 4 of my 5 kids left town. 4 of them still live in town now. They came back. They're happy to be here. So I'm very involved with my grandkids' lives here in the community. So we all live within 7 tenths of a mile of each other.
That is fantastic. So are you saying that your 4 children moved and then moved back?
4 of my 5 kids moved.
It's wonderful to hear. So we got to be doing something right.
I hope so.
We're working on it. Believe me. Unfortunately, it's slow in process. Mr. Bozak, what do you see as possibly being one of the most important issues that faces this village right now?
Well, now, do I listen to Facebook? Because it would be roads, it would be code enforcement. Code enforcement's been a big issue with people. I'm sure it's pretty quiet right now because it's not as prevalent. Doing fire prevention, believe me, I understand all the flack you get back when you cite people for violations, okay? It's absolutely a nightmare, especially where you guys are. It got let go for about 20, 25 years, and then it got picked back up.
Yeah.
So you're starting from scratch. And that'll go away in time.
It will, and thank you. It's something to working on, that's a good perspective on it. And just want to let people know that, and I'm sorry that I'm sharing this now, but, we give plenty of notice for people too that are in violation.
Oh,
right? We don't
absolutely.
just warn and then go say, like, and we've had people that have volunteered to go and help on their own time to clean these properties up at no cost, right? To just say, let's get it cleaned up. So, thank you. That's a good perspective on it. It hasn't got brought up yet. So, how far are you familiar, or how familiar might you be with the roles and responsibilities of counselor, even since you've served in some governmental capacity?
Because I worked at Toledo Fire, I worked in fire inspection, fire investigation. I got to write some legislation for city council. I had some interaction with city council. I had interaction with the mayor's office, Harvey Finkbeiner. I was on his Dirty Dozen committee, which is code enforcement, the worst buildings in the town.
Yeah.
And I was also on the nuisance abatement board of appeals.
Oh, wow.
For the fire department.
Good
So
stuff.
I dealt with that, and I know where you guys, that's why I said, I know where you guys are coming from.
Yeah, well, thank you. So that's wonderful to know that you've been
And
involved.
it is for the betterment of the community.
It is.
Brings the property values up, keeps everything better.
Okay, so how would you approach in possibly making decisions if you don't have all the information in front of you? Mr.
Well,
Jose?
if I don't have all the information, but I have a little bit of time, I'm gonna pull out my trusty cell phone and do what research I can do in the little bit of time I have. Okay? I was in emergency services. I went to fires all the time. I'm looking at a building, and I'm making decisions that impact 3 other people's life, up to 20 people on the scene. I make that decision, I live with it, and adjust as needed.
All right, good answer. Could you describe your experience of working with budgets, maybe public funds, or even oversight of those?
In fire prevention and fire investigation,
Yes.
I was responsible to prepare the budget for what the inspectors would need and what the investigators would need. So the fire department came back, said yes or no, but
Yeah, of course.
I was the one that put everything together for it. I was also responsible for tracking the amount of money coming back from fire inspections. We charge $30 a fire inspection, so.
Sure. Interesting. Thank you. So you had some oversight, not only preparing, oversight of them, and so on and so forth. Fantastic. So if you had, how would you balance the interests of an individual resident versus the overall village as a whole?
Well, unfortunately, the village is always going to come first, okay? I may agree with the resident, I may not agree with the resident, I'm going to listen to them.
Sure.
That's one of the most important things, is making people feel heard. And as long as they feel heard, they're going to be happier when they walk away. They might still be ticked off, but they're going to go away a little less mad.
I'm chuckling because I've received some phone calls of exactly that, right? They're upset when they call. When we get done talking to them, they're not so upset.
I answered the phone calls for fire prevention.
Sure.
It was the main line for the fire department. You don't know how many complaints I handled
Of
over.
course.
Somebody parked in my lawn.
Well, I'd like to share a story about Billy, but I apologize. It's pretty funny phone call that I got, but it turned out to be good. Have you previously at any time served on any boards, commissions, volunteer organizations?
In town, I was the Cub Master years and years and years ago. I was involved in Girl Scouts back then. I coached t-ball, softball for my kids. Like I said, I had 5 kids grow up in town. I've got 8 grandkids over at the school right now. I'm volunteer coordinator of the PTO right now. So
Committed.
I still try to be involved.
Right. Wonderful. How would you handle a disagreement? If you was sitting on the board up here on this council, excuse me, and you had was faced with a conflict in this public setting, how would you handle that?
In a public setting,
Yes, in a
that's
public
the
setting.
number one listen. Okay? Let them vent, let them get whatever's on their mind, off their mind. Try and see it from their perspective and explain why you're making the decision you're making.
Sure. Okay.
And what you see.
Very good. Thank you. Are you able to commit the time necessary? Mr.
Well, I was
Bozak?
retired after 35 years with the fire department,
Yeah,
so
but
yes,
you-
I can.
You could be busy.
Well, 8 grandkids, I am busy, but I'll make the time.
So you are willing to make the time if
Absolutely.
you are appointed to this vacancy? Okay. What do you believe would make you a good candidate for this vacancy?
Well, like I said, I have had some experience in budgeting. Fire prevention is all about code enforcement, looking through the laws, Ohio revised code through police. I had police powers as a fire investigator also. So
Sure.
I've had to look up laws, I've researched laws, I've helped write the legislation. So I've done a lot of research. Research isn't something I'm afraid of, and I think it's very important in this capacity.
Absolutely. The revised code is very, very important. Okay, and then long-term vision for the Village of North Baltimore. What's your thoughts on that, Mr. Bozak?
Do we have all night? No, in all honesty, I'd like to see improvement in the roads, but I realize to pave a new road is over $1.2 million a mile. So the expense is really hard with the finances we have. We don't get more money. I'd like to see that improvement. I'd like to see downtown improve. I'd like to see some affordable housing. I would love to see the path around the park pond get paved. To make it a little bit more handicap accessible and stroller accessible.
So everything that you're envisioning, that's what the 0.5% was going to cover if it would have passed. So, and that's not a slap to anybody.
No.
We had that vision, that same vision up here. We had those same visions, guys. So we want to. So I'm really happy to hear the consistency of we see the same issues. It's not like there's a disconnect. We've got to come up with a plan on how to do that with what we have to work with. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr.
I would have liked to have seen a little more communication from everybody ahead of time on that issue, because it came out in the letter with the water bill, what, month before the election, and I really didn't see anything talked about anywhere else.
Yeah, we tried to pass it 2 other times before that. You know what I mean? So it's failed 3 times. I mean, yes, we need to do a better job of if we.
And it's not a slam. I just
no, I
would
don't
like
think
to
that's
see.
No, sir. I don't think.
I would love to see more communication on that.
We tried to have public meetings. Nobody came. I mean, we made an effort.
I didn't come because I was for it.
And that's okay. That's okay. I appreciate it.
I mean,
but why I share that, I don't want to belabor this, and I apologize, because everything that you candidates have brought up, we see the same issues. They're challenging. Thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Bozak? Okay, moving on to Andrew Coop. Coop, I'm sorry, Andrew. Please forgive me. Andrew, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Thank you very much for your letter of interest. Why are you interested in possibly serving as
I'm
a council?
currently medically retired. I don't work outside the home. I do a lot of volunteering when I can with my children and stuff like that. I have raised 3 of them. My oldest is 21, already moved out and everything, and going to school, and hopefully he continues on in town here and grows and keeps going with the tradition of keep moving forward in progress. I think it'd be a good person up here to help with a new mindset.
Thank you. What do you see as some of the most important issues that we're faced with as a village?
I know a lot of people already said the roads and everything.
That's okay.
And the structures of the town and everything, but there's also the phone lines. They're like 30 years old in certain places, outdated, that could be replaced and everything. That right there would be another infrastructure to put in play down the road. I could see that, and upgrading the park and everything like that. I would love that.
Sure.
For everyone to have family communication out there, and everyone to speak their mind, come to meetings.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. How familiar are you with the roles and responsibilities of the legislative authority in the village?
Unfortunately, I have never been on a board whatsoever, and I am new to all this, and I'm willing to put the work in and learn the effort to go forward with it.
Wonderful. We've all had to learn, guys, so it's not a bad question, every one of us. Nobody started out as a council member, right? We all learned, we've all learned. Well, how would you approach making decisions when you possibly don't have all the information in front of you?
That's a good question, and I would go with what I had and do a little bit more research if I had the time with any technology communications that I have, and then approach the best decision for the community and for everyone on the board and see what their opinion was with it.
So make the best decision that you can with the information you have before you.
Correct.
That would benefit the village.
Correct.
Good answer. Okay. Describe your experience working with any budgets, any public funds that you might have been involved in, or any kind of financial oversight.
Now, unfortunately, I have no budget information, accounting information, stuff like that.
Sure.
I grew up poor and everything, so I had to work on a means-based income and go month-to-month check. So we had to live within our means and do what we had to do with what money we had.
Yes.
And I still do that with our household today.
A couple of us are very familiar with that lifestyle.
So, and I would love to everyone have to grow up like that, because I think you appreciate a little bit more from coming from that type of situation.
Absolutely. I agree. Good answer. How would you balance the interest of an individual, per se, resident, with what you believe might be the best interest of the village as a whole? So if I come to you and I'm saying, hey, we should do things this way, but you know with the information that you have, it may not be in the best interest of the village as a whole, how would you address that with that individual?
First of all, I've listened to the individual, because they're important. Everyone's important when they communicate to somebody. You have to pay attention, first and foremost. If you don't pay attention, what are you doing? You have to be able to listen and communicate back and have the open ears and everything and communicate to that person. But overall, you have to be willing to do what's best for the community too. And if you're not willing to do that, you shouldn't be here.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you. Have you previously served on any boards, commissions, any volunteer work?
I volunteered my kids. Like I said, my oldest is 21, my youngest is 13, and they're all in sports and activities. I've coached my middle child football, volunteered with, when Tackle Bar was up here, I volunteered as assistant coach under Coach Pelton. So I had that experience, and also I was a union representation when I did work at Cooper Standard in Bowling Green. I did safety coordinating meetings. I enjoyed the safety committees I was serving on when I worked at other various jobs, and I thought that was great. I'll take all the information. Sorry, I'm nervous.
You're okay. Don't apologize. You're doing just fine. You're doing very well. You're doing very good.
So, but overall, all the safety concerns of everybody was important to listen to all their meetings and everything, and get all the information that you can to make the best safe decision for everyone that's in the employees.
Absolutely. Are you able to commit the time that would be necessary to fulfill your obligations as a council member you was appointed to that vacant council seat?
Like I said earlier, I am medically retired, so I work from home. I take my kids to the doctor's appointment during the day. Besides that, I am free to go anything, as long as I get permission from my wife. I can't argue with her, she's the boss.
So part-time, as long as the wife approves. What do you believe would make you a good candidate for this?
I bring a new mindset, open and everything, and hopefully the aspect of helping the town grow and everything. I would love the opportunity to help volunteer, get more community time in with everybody. That's why I wanted to start coming to meetings and be participating and everything. Even before I knew this position was available,
yep,
I was here. I wanted to be here. I want to continue to be here. I want to see this community grow. I want to be part of that process.
Perfect. And then what is your long-term vision for the village?
Just continue future generations. I'd love to see Main Street grow, more businesses out there, and to piggyback off what Mr. said over there. Sorry, I don't know, I have terrible names, so I apologize.
That's right.
And everything, so. But continue on with that, and affordable housing come into town here, and try to figure out how to get that a representative in town here for more communities to come in families to come into our town and see how great this community can be.
Absolutely.
And as I know, I've been here for 3 decades. So I want to see that grow even more for future generations.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Is there any questions? I want to thank all the candidates. I know that it wasn't easy. I want to tell you guys, each and every one of you, and I mean this, I want to say, you guys being put on the spot did a fantastic job. And I want to thank you for your time and your interest in serving at this capacity. Much appreciated. Is this council going to make a decision next week? So you guys have time to review, reflect on the interviews, and then, so this body will be making a decision next Tuesday on who will fill this vacant council seat. So, thank you very much. With that being said,
So, we could do the executive session, but I'm in the list, I want a motion on the severance.
do you know what the motion is going to be?
I believe so.
Make a motion.
So, I would like to ask for a motion from council regarding the severance. Not executive session, but we can't go to executive session. We need to discuss that more, but I believe I know what that is. Can I make that motion now, or should we go to executive session?
Make a motion for what it's gonna be?
Yeah, I can say the words now. I know they.
Based on
Go ahead.
the communication that we had in executive session, I think everybody's in agreement.
I'm asking for a motion from council to provide a severance equal to 3 months of pay to those dispatchers whose employment continues through March 3rd,
I'll
2026.
make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
I want,
And all benefits, right? Is it benefits?
Correct.
Yes, we don't want to put them out of any benefits.
No.
Right.
Benefits in what regard?
As far as their vacation
That's
time.
Nope, you pay it,
That's
yeah, okay.
That's paid out anyways.
Paying their benefits, is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's happening regardless.
but if they get a dispatch job, they still get their,
Correct, that is,
Yeah, yes.
add that to it.
Well, the dispatch job is gonna take, if they were to fly, and
Has to be Wood
fly,
County.
it was like six weeks.
So,
So it shouldn't interfere in.
no, but I don't want them to be like, I can't apply until.
Right,
Right,
it-
right,
no,
no,
it-
they can
If
apply,
they-
yeah.
Yes, the Wood County dispatch job is.
whoever stays until this is in effect till we switch over, any employee that stays till that date, no matter what they do after that date, the qualifier is that they stay until we switch over, and that date is in the contract, so.
That's in there, that if they vacate earlier, they would not.
They're
be entitled.
forfeiting.
Right.
And if they would forfeit, yes, they would forfeit that.
Would council like a new motion from me regarding the one part about Wood County dispatch?
Did somebody already, hold on, if somebody already made that motion, right, you made the motion, somebody, if there was already,
Isn't it already in there?
It was already in there, but if you want me to be more
no,
specific.
it's anybody that it stays, we don't need to complicate this, we know what it is.
Okay.
If there's any issues with any of it, we will contact
Okay.
the council members and talk to you. There's a motion on the floor, was there a second?
Yeah.
Vote when ready, please, Mason.
Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Ms. Beaupre?
Yes.
Ms. Hefner?
Yes.
Make a motion to, entertain a motion to adjourn this special meeting. There's a motion to adjourn, is there a second?
Second.
Vote when ready, Mason.
Mr. Engard?
Yes.
Mr. Swett?
Yes.
Ms. Beaupre?
Yes.
Ms. Hefner?
Yes.
Mr. Richmond?
Yes.
Okay.
Easiest yes of the day.